All right, check 1 2. What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's, what's today? Wednesday. Wednesday is going right. IOBA. My name is TC. You know, I live down here in the South after having lived up north for most of my adult life. I came down here. In other words, I came down here less than just under 15 years ago. So I was 50 something when I got down here. So when I talk about nasty ass white cops, I know from where I speak. Trust and believe, I do. I used to work out with them. I used to get pulled over by them. I had a couple of them try to recruit me. So I know how white boys think. And I know why the niggas that be with them white boys, I know why they think the same way. When I saw that video, I knew just what was happening. The white boys drunk on power. They think they got carte fucking blanche over the neighborhood. They think they can do anything they want to do. And their government is going to support them. And I understand why they think that way. Because when you pump $175 billion into creating a whole new law enforcement agency with concentration camps inside motherfucking swamps, and they ain't just sticking immigrants in these places, believe me. When you got a government doing that, you feel like you empowered. You can do any goddamn thing you want, and ain't nothing gonna happen to you. And you know what the sad part about it is? It probably ain't nothing gonna happen to them for doing what they did to that kid. I watched the video. Tapping on the window, broke the window, slammed, punched the boy in the face. The kid didn't react like he wanted to. They reached around, unbuckled his seatbelt, and pulled him out the fucking car and started beating on him some more. And then you seen the big ass black nigger cop standing there helping. In my opinion, when you see a nigga that do that shit, he done made his choice. He ain't black, he blue. He one of them. Just because he look like us don't mean he's like us. That's what that is. You know. And then when you get the big nigga cop that come on and try to explain it, that's one of them goddamn coon ass niggas all growed up. That's all that is. And promoted and decorated for his actions. You dig me? So it ain't gonna be up to anybody else to come in and protect black people from this type of shit, because, for example, all we wanted from the Democrats was a black anti-hate crime bill. All we wanted was into qualified immunity from the police. Yeah, they end qualified immunity. They can't get away with any fucking thing they want because they say they was on the job when it happened. Bullshit. Them white boys crazy. So we wanted that going. You dig me? We wanted some concrete programs for the black community that help us just like they did everybody else. The Democrats said no. So they suffered at the election because of it. I always said black people got the power to swing elections. Unfortunately for a lot of us, it swung to the right, because enough of us was fed up with the Democrat bullshit promises till we stayed home, and white people was racist as a motherfucker and they wanted Donald Trump back in the White House. despite all his flaws. So those are the two reasons the Democrats lost. That's why we don't have a black anti-hate crime bill. That's why we don't have police reform. That's why, see how it all goes down to that little boy in the car in Jacksonville. And whether or not them cops get away with it, and they probably will. Because there's no police reform. Because every motherfucking city in the country, big city in the country, the only budget that increases every year is the police. That's it. They ain't got no money for education, no money for infrastructure, no money for nothing else except beefing up their private little gang-ass army that they got inside the cities to control people. You know how much, just a side note, you know how much they paying one of them ICE officers? I heard the other day there's like a $10,000 sign-on bonus. Don't quote me now. And up to $100,000 a year. So if they paying them ICE agents that much money, you know the police officers is getting caked off. And they don't care about none of us, black people. Tell you something. God damn it. You see how they doing the Hispanic people. Rushing them, throw them out the country, calling them alligator food and all of that. If they think that way about the Hispanics, you can only imagine what they're saying about us. You know they trying to make plans for us. You know if they catch one of us behind enemy lines, what they doing. You know they snatching up kids in D.C. and probably doing some kind of crazy ass harvesting thing with them. You know, this has been a corrupt system for a long time. Imagine what kind of plans they got for us. It's up to us to be ready for any contingency. Whatever that means. It's up to us to be ready and not be soft targets. I mean, sometimes, like, they just run you and pull you over for no reason and just target you. Well, if you get targeted, then I'm saying it's up to the people who love you to address that. If you get targeted by the police and they railroad you, it's up to the people who love you to address that. And I mean vigorously and by whatever means necessary. Because that's the only thing they understand. The dominant society understands. And the dominant society is the police. They only understand violence. They only understand getting home at night. Fuck whether you get home at night. It don't matter. You defied my order. They just got this thing. You have no rights once you tell me no. Especially if you're a young black boy. You the enemy. You know what? When I think about it, young black men always been the motherfucking enemy. All the way back to Hillary Clinton. When she's, roving bands, young predators, whatever the fuck she said back then about young black men. That shit go on steroids when Republicans get in office. That shit get on steroids when Republicans get in office. And the Democrats, one of which is Hillary Clinton, they feel the same way. That's one thing the Democrats, matter of fact, that is one of the things that the Democrats and the Republicans agree on. Building up police forces to control black people. And not promising black people anything. That's why the Democrats lose. They ain't got it in their fucking head yet, but that's why they lose. That's why Kamala lost. You feel me? And that's why we don't have any even semblance of police reform. The police is going full fascist on us in the streets. And that shit that happened in Jacksonville, where I live at, is the reason for it. And you know it happens every goddamn day. It happens every day, every day. To put that scene is played out somewhere in this country. I'd be willing to bet that somewhere in this country right now the police is beating up somebody black, a young black boy. I'd be willing to bet. If they ain't doing it now, they did it a few minutes ago, or they're gonna do it a few minutes from now. You feel me? I'm telling you, like I said back in the day, I used to work with these cats, and that's all the fuck they talked about. What are we gonna do about it? That's the question. No soft targets. And address every goddamn thing that happens. Address everything that happens. We ain't got to go out in the street and tear the streets up, because you can't take them white boys on like that, because they got tanks. But there's other ways to deal with a situation as fucked up as this. There's other ways to deal with it. Yeah, you got to micromanage it. You feel me? You got to micromanage it. Whatever happens to somebody in your family, and you know the rest of that statement, something should happen to somebody else's family. Whether it be good, whether it be bad. So, that's it. Jacksonville's a fucked up place, just like every big city in the United States. And it's fucked up largely because of the big blue goddamn gang of thugs with badges that run it, and the people who enable them. Thanks for coming by and listening to me talk my shit. I know I rambled a little bit, but hey, stitch it all together. It'll make sense to you. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. TC, and I'm out. Peace.